Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
The 75th anniversary of a grant program for veterans puts Rockford's Laurent house back in the spotlight. Plus, after near round-the-clock negotiations, an agreement to raise the debt limit before what the president called a catastrophic default. What's included in the bill, what's been cut out, and when to expect a vote. And knowing you're not alone, the important reason people strapped on a weighted backpack today to support veterans. Good evening, I'm Marissa Lesner. Taylor is off tonight. Thanks for joining us. A man is sentenced to decades in prison for killing his girlfriend and leaving her body in a Winnebago County storage unit. On Friday, Jonathan Van Dunn pled guilty to murder in a Winnebago County court. He was sentenced to 28 years in prison and 3 years mandatory supervised release. Michelle Arnold Bosinger was last seen in November of 2020. She and Van Dunn had been living together in Wisconsin. Her body was later found inside a Jeep in a U-Haul storage unit in Roscoe. The Jeep was registered to Van Dunn. He's currently serving a prison sentence in Wisconsin for another crime. This weekend, we take a moment to remember those who died serving our country. And today, local veterans celebrate the 75th anniversary of a grant program that brought a world-renowned architect to Rockford to build a one-of-a-kind home. The Laurent house off Springbrook Road was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright for Kenneth Laurent. The World War II veteran was paralyzed and needed a wheelchair-accessible home. The Laurent family used the $10,000 specially adapted housing grant to pay for the home. Officials marked the 75th anniversary of that program today. In that time, 50,000 veterans have used SAH grants.
And this is a home that sort of embodies what the U.S. government can do to help service members when they come back, to help them live the life as best they can.
The Laurent house is the only wheelchair-accessible home designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. Tours are held every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Dozens of people picked up a 20-pound backpack and ran 6 miles this morning. The Ruck March is to bring awareness to veteran suicide. The weight of that backpack symbolizes the 22 veterans who die from suicide each day. The Rockford Vet Center put on today's event outside of Peak Sports Center in Perryville, saying they want local veterans to know that they're here for them.
Veteran suicide is still a very, very prominent concern to us as service providers, and when we can provide the services and the supports within the community, we can impact the lives and the well-being of the veterans.
There were also booths set up to give out information on services available. Proceeds from the Ruck March go to the Veterans Drop-In Center. There's a little cemetery in Winnebago County that has a big tradition. It was established in the 1860s, and not long after that, they started honoring the men and women that gave their lives while fighting for our country. Today, a group of people gathered at North Burritt Cemetery to continue that tradition. The names of the fallen soldiers who are buried here are read aloud, from the Black Hawk War to World War II and the Vietnam War. Each of the 100 veterans' graves are marked with the American flag.
I think we forget that anything has a great cost, and freedom has a great cost, and many of us don't think about that every day, so it's a good thing to have at least one day out of the year to say thank you to all the people that went and served their country, and many that died in battle.
Today's service also included the presentation of colors by the Boy Scouts and a reading of the Gettysburg Address. 682 veterans passed away in Winnebago County last year. Tomorrow, we will honor those men and women and all veterans who fought and died in defense of our country. There are several different parades and ceremonies planned. In Rockford, the Memorial Day Parade and program will honor Corporal Nathan Carlson. The McChesney Park man was killed during a military training exercise last June. That parade starts at 9 a.m. in Midtown at 7th Street and 6th Avenue, then goes north to State, then moves west over the bridge to Wyman Street and ends at Beatty Park. Roads will be shut down beginning at 8 tomorrow morning. Following the parade, there will be a Memorial Day ceremony outside of Veterans Memorial Hall. The United Veterans Memorial Day Parade will step off at 9 in South Beloit and ends just before Horace White Park in Beloit. Freeport's Memorial Day Parade returns after many years of hiatus. That one kicks off at 10 on South Walnut. At 10:30 is the Roscoe Memorial Day Parade. You can line up along Main Street to watch. And Pecatonica's Memorial Day Parade is at 2. It goes from the middle school parking lot to Sumner Park and has been a tradition for more than 150 years. Welcome back. A possible lead to raise the federal government's debt limit. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy expects the bill will have Republican support with a vote in the House possibly as early as Wednesday. ABC's Jay O'Brien has the details.
Just days before a potentially catastrophic U.S. default, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy announced Saturday evening Republicans had come to an agreement in principle with President Biden to raise the debt limit. In a statement, the president calling it an important step forward and a compromise. The president speaking with McCarthy Sunday afternoon to review the finalized language of the legislation.
Make sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. I think we're in good shape.
McCarthy praising the deal, calling it good for the American people.
It doesn't get everything everybody wanted, but that's in divided government. That's where we end up. I think it's a very positive bill.
After the tentative agreement was reached, senior White House officials immediately began calling a number of House Democrats to sell them on the deal. In a letter to fellow House Democrats, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries said the text of the legislative bill would be available for their review shortly after McCarthy and the president spoke Sunday afternoon, telling CBS,
I do expect that there will be Democratic support once we have the ability to actually be fully briefed by the White House.
McCarthy pledged lawmakers would have 72 hours to read the text of the bill before a vote expected on Wednesday. But over in the Senate, Majority Leader Chuck Schumer warning his colleagues of the potential for Friday and weekend votes in the event of filibusters by either side of the aisle. McCarthy saying he's confident the bill will pass the House with a majority in his conference supporting it.
You're going to have Republicans and Democrats be able to move this to the president. The president agreed with this bill as well.
Sources tell ABC News the deal would keep non-defense spending roughly flat through fiscal 2024, increasing just 1% in 2025. It fully funds medical care for veterans and phases in new work requirements for recipients of SNAP benefits. There will be no changes to Medicaid requirements, and it would streamline the review process for certain energy projects. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, the Capitol.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Well, the warming trend continues as we get into the middle part of the week, and that's because of high pressure that's going to eventually work its way out from the Great Lakes, leading to this kind of turn in our winds. They'll be coming out of the south as opposed to the east once that high pressure eventually works its way out of the area. We already saw that start to the increase in temperatures here today, with many spots making their way into the 80s. Now we're at 80 degrees in Rockford, 81 in Rochelle, 81 in Freeport, 83 down in Sterling. Our dew points also just a little bit warmer than where they have been for the last few days, with many dew points across the area reaching into the 30s and even into the 40s. We did get a little bit of an increase in some of that cloud cover earlier this afternoon, and that still shows up on our SkyTrack camera overlooking downtown Rockford. Up on the Supply Corps building, it's brought to us by Window World. That increase in cloud cover still coming from that system well off to our southeast, but we see some of that cloud cover trying to work its way at least a little bit closer to the north and the northwest, with much of that rain staying well off to the southeast as well. That increase in cloud cover because of this Rex block that we've been talking about, that low pressure system across the Carolinas, high pressure to the north of it, causing that easterly flow, and that's what's bringing us that increase in especially some of that upper level moisture, leading to that increase in much of that upper level clouds. Temperatures tonight do fall back only to the 50s, 50 degrees officially, because of that slight increase in cloud cover. Still fairly close to where we should be for this time of year, just a little bit warmer than where we have been for the last few days. Tomorrow, if you plan to go out and grill for any reason for Memorial Day, going to look like a beautiful forecast. Temperatures getting back up into the mid 80s for that afternoon high. Just a few clouds lingering with us, especially once we get into those afternoon hours. If you plan to do any of that grilling or have any bonfires, fireworks, know that there's going to be a little bit of a higher fire risk because of our low relative humidities. Humidities are going to be down around 20% with dew points in the 40s, very similar to where we have been today. So if you plan to go out and burn anything, have a bonfire, anything like that, just make sure that you are being very cautious and making sure that you are containing it if it does try to spread. Temperatures are going to be a lot warmer for the rest of this week. We still remain with the lower humidity, but many spots getting into the 90s, at least for possibly a couple of days in a row. Mid-80s on Monday, upper 80s as we get into Tuesday, and then possibly into the 90s for a couple of days. Temperature is going to remain a little bit above normal for this time of year, and that's a perfect time for a reminder for our heat safety checklist. Anytime that we are going to be out in the heat, make sure we are drinking plenty of water, taking those breaks in the shade, minimizing our exposure to the sun, and using that sunscreen if we go out in the sun, as well as wearing any light clothing just to prevent any of that heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Not going to be talking about a whole lot of humidity this week, but still going to be feeling very, very warm with temperatures into the 90s possibly for a couple of days. That warmth also going to spur on potentially a few storms as we get into the middle part of the week. Not very high chances for those storms and even showers at all for that matter, but if we get any of those that could try to work their way in mainly during the afternoons in the middle part of the week, that will not bring us a whole lot of rainfall, but something still to keep an eye on as we get into the middle of the week. Temperatures a lot warmer once we get past Memorial Day, mid-80s to the upper 80s once we get into Tuesday, still holding on to plenty of that sunshine. And Marissa, we could see that 90-degree mark for at least a couple of days in a row, and then much sunnier skies once we get into next weekend.
Now sports with Reagan Holgate.
Now it's a new day, the end of another series, and the White Sox were trying to close things out in Detroit on a high note. Romy Gonzalez will get the Sox on the board first here in the third inning with a solo shot to left field, and that makes it 1-0 for the good guys. Let's go to the seventh now, and the Sox in a bit of a hole, but welcome back to the lineup, Eloy Jimenez. He gets this one down to left for a hit. 2 runners round home, and the Sox are slowly crawling their way back here. Same inning, and it's Andrew Vaughn with the sac fly to center, and Jimenez will make it home. Sox have the lead, but they won't be able to keep it. This one will finish in 10 with a Detroit win 6-5. The Tigers take 3 of 4 in this series. It's back to guaranteed rate field tomorrow. The Cubs looking to bounce back in their finale with the Reds. Patrick Wisdom will fire off this blast in the second. 424 feet for the 3-run home run. Just like that, the Cubs have finally found themselves a lead again, 3-2, but it wouldn't last long as the Reds rifle off 6 more runs. The Cubs lose another 8-5. A 3-game set with Tampa Bay starts tomorrow. And the Brewers finishing out their series with the Giants, trying to avoid a sweep, and they will with a 7-5 win. Now, there definitely hasn't been a lack of excitement around this year's East Finals. The Heat firing out to a 3-0 series lead. Then it's do or die for the Celtics. They crawl their way back, and last night really made things more interesting. Derek White etched his name into the NBA records, tipping in Marcus Smart's miss to beat the Horn for the difference in a 1-point win that denied the Heat a trip to the NBA Finals. At least for now, the Celtics became just the 4th team in NBA history to force a Game 7 after being down 3-0 in the series. Now they have a chance to make history at home as the only team ever to advance to the finals after being down 3, and they get to do it in Boston.
We're just happy we won. However we got to get it done, we got it done. Now it's on to Game 7.
Honestly, I'm proud of the guys to never give up, fight to the very end, and giving us a chance to win this basketball game. Didn't go our way, part of it. It hasn't been going our way a lot this year. So this is nothing new. We got to go on the road and do something special, but we got a special group, so why not it be us?
Now, the Milwaukee Bucks were one of the major upsets this year in the playoffs, and that meant a coaching change. According to several sources, the Bucks are hiring Raptors assistant Adrian Griffin. Griffin spent the past 4 years as the top assistant in Toronto and comes with a reputation as a high-level defensive coach. The Bucks like his leadership presence. They landed on their choice yesterday, and a multi-year contract is expected to bring a formal deal here soon. Now, it took a while to get to the final lap of the Indy 500 today after 3 red flags in the final 13 laps, but once we did, the ending was well worth it. Joseph Newgarden finally wins the Indianapolis 500, passing the reigning champ on the final lap to do it, his 19th career win. He made sure it was one to remember with a leap into the stands to celebrate with the crowd.
Well, Jordan, you get an A+ on your forecast for this weekend so far. We got one more day and it looks like it's going to be nice and clear. Perfect weather. I know a lot of the pools have opened now, so it's a good day to get out to the pools or the splash pads.
Yeah, it's going to be great weather, especially for any outdoor activities like the pool, because sometimes in Memorial Day you can expect temperatures like in the upper 70s, and that might be a little bit too chilly for some people for pool weather. So
and we've had some in the 60s.
Right, so this is definitely a more welcome sight for Memorial Day weekend with temperatures into the 80s all the way through the weekend, and then we even get warmer once we look into next week. And we actually have some of those cloudier skies here right now from that system that's over across the Carolinas. The First Warn Interactive Radar from Rockford, Auto Glass and More showing off with just a little bit of cloud cover, but not any precipitation with that through the rest of the evening tonight. Temperatures underneath that only fall to the 50s. We have a little bit more cloud cover helping to insulate us just a little bit compared to where we've been when we fell to the 40s for the last few nights in a row. Memorial Day looking like another gorgeous forecast. Temperatures into the mid-80s, pretty similar to where we were today, possibly even a couple of ticks higher for that temperature into the afternoon, reaching the mid-80s after we start out the morning already in the 70s by the later part of that morning. Even warmer as we get into the middle part of the week. As I mentioned, we could see 90 degrees for a couple of days, and we are looking dry for the most part, other than a few spotty showers and storms late next week.
All right, looks like a pretty good forecast. That's it for us. Have a great night.